we have 3 salts and we want to know in what conditions they best dissolve in. Our first salt is barium carbonate, and it breaks up into 2 ions. Ba2+, and its conjugate base is BaOH2, and we know that that's a strong base. And a strong base, then we know that Ba2+ is a very weak acid. And CO3, its conjugate acid is H2CO3, and that's a weak acid. And we know that if it's a weak acid, then CO3 is a weak base. And a weak base is much stronger than a very weak acid, so it best dissolves in an acid solution. Our second salt is lead-2 bromide, and it breaks up into 2 ions. Lead-2+, its conjugate base is PbOH2, and we know that that is a weak base. And if this is a weak base, we know that Pb2+ is a weak acid. Br2-, its conjugate acid is HBr, and we know that HBr is a strong acid, and because it's a strong acid, then we know that Br2- is a very weak base. And in comparing the two, Pb2+ is a weak acid, and Br2- is a very weak base. This is stronger, so it will dissolve best in basic conditions or solutions. Our last salt is barium sulfate, and it dissolves into Ba2+, and its conjugate base is BaOH2, and we know that this is a strong base, and if we know this is a strong base, then Ba2+ is a very weak acid. SO4 its conjugate acid is H2SO4, and that is a strong acid, and we know that if this is a strong acid, then SO4 has to be a very weak base. So comparing these two will neutralize, and the conditions won't matter. So this one is conditions don't